Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to the Irvine International Academy regularly scheduled board meeting. Today is May 12th. The time is 5:58 p.m. We'll start with our address, which is 4782 Karen Ann Lane, Irvine, California 92604. And I'll begin with roll call. Molly?
Present.
Felipe?
Present.
Brett is present. David?
Present.
Okay, move to the approval of the agenda. Approve the agenda for the regular meeting of the Irvine International Academy Board of Directors on May 12, 2026. Recommended the Board of Directors approve the agenda for this regular meeting of Irvine International Academy Board of Directors on May 12, 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, David. Is there a second? Thank you, Molly. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Moving next to community input on closed session agenda items. Members of the public may comment on items listed on closed session agenda only. Public comments include emailed comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per comment, up to 20 minutes of public comment. Do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Thank you. Next, we'll move to closed session for discussion and possible action, where we will have conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2, subdivision D, and paragraph 3 of subdivision E of Government Code section 54956.9. A conference with real property negotiators regarding this particular property, 4782 Karen Ann Lane, Irvine, California 92604. We'll estimate 30 minutes, but maybe more, maybe less. We will reconvene at this location. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. We're reconvening here, 7:39 p.m. No action taken during the meeting, the closed session meeting. Next we'll move to the very important flag salute. Do we have any volunteers?
Volunteer.
Thank you, David.
So face the flag and count to three. 3, 2, 1, go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to community input on agendized and non-agendized items. The public may comment on items listed on the agenda, including consent calendar, presentation, discussion, committee, and action items. The public may also comment on items not listed on the agenda that are within the legal purview of the Board of Directors. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
Thank you. Moving on to items for consent. We've got 2 items. Approved minutes from the regular board meeting of the IIA Board of Directors on April 28, 2026, and approve the personnel report. It's recommended the Board of Directors approve consent items A and B. Is there a motion?
I'll motion so.
Thank you, David. I'm happy to second. We'll take a roll. We'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Okay, moving on. Items for presentation. School update. Principal Schmitter.
All right, good evening. Just a smaller update because we were just here a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to just kind of give you an update on what's going on and some things to come. First, so we did finish our first week of CAS testing just last week, which was our English Language Arts. We are doing math this week, so we should be wrapping up that portion of CAS testing this week with our CAST science test next week, and that's only for our 5th and 8th graders. So far, we've received, from students just positive feedback, feeling like the test has gone well, they felt prepared, that they were able to successfully answer the questions. So we're hoping that we get those positive results that we've been working for. We also are scheduling to have our 3rd grade gate testing next week. That's going to be an annual thing for our 3rd graders, plus any students outside of 3rd grade who request it. And I believe we have a couple 4th graders and a 7th grader who's testing as well. So Mr. Fernandez has been working getting that set up, and we should be ready to go next week. I also do want to highlight that we do have our PTO Spring Fling It seems far away still, because I know we've been talking about it a while, but it's actually next Friday. It's going to be our 5th year celebration as a school. So we'll be recognizing both staff and students who have been part of IIA for the past 5 years. Can't remember the exact amount, it's 78 students. I created the list, I should know, but it's 78 students. And so we'll be recognizing them at that, as well as our staff members who have been here for the full 5 years. So I'll be there, and I hope to see many of you there. I know that we're going to have a good turnout, and I know our PTO has been hard at work on this for a while. Again, just kind of reminding you some of our end of the year events with our spring concerts. First one on the 21st next week, and then our second one on the 28th. We have a full field day plan for Wednesday, June 3rd. Our lower elementary team has been very on it in terms of planning. They are assisting, helping that getting ready. I've been working with them. So we're excited about having that day for our students. And then we have our promotions on our last day of school, June 4th. Again, it sounds far, but I believe it's only about 3 weeks away. And then I just want to give you an applicant update as we are filling in new positions, mostly due to the school's growth. For our elementary English teacher, we had 153 applicants. So to put that in perspective, that's a lot. It's not normal to get that many. And then as a Mandarin teacher pool, we're not certain if we'll need to hire a Mandarin teacher, but we wanted to put a pool together just in case, because we want to be prepared. But we have 14 applicants. And then for PE teacher, we are growing as a school, so we have 63 applicants for that. So we're actually starting PE teacher interviews this Friday for next year, and then we'll be rolling out doing some English teacher interviews shortly after that. But we're already working towards next school year, making sure that we're fully staffed. And then again, we have our upcoming events. Most of these events I've already mentioned, but we do have our last ELAC meeting, our English Learner Advisory Advisory Committee meeting this Thursday to kind of wrap up the year. But we're kind of in that final stretch in terms of school events and testing, and it's going to go by quick. All right, any questions?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, moving on to items for discussion and possible action. We've got proof the adoption of the Haggerty Bridge to reading. In the 2025-26 school year, all California schools were required to conduct an annual universal reading risk screening for all students in kindergarten through grade 2. Schools must now provide reading support for all students, including those who show early signs of reading challenges. Haggerty Bridge to Reading is a comprehensive foundational skills curriculum for grades TK through 2nd. Integrates explicit phonemic awareness with phonics instruction and designed to boost early literacy through daily 30-minute lessons. Haggerty is evidence-based, aligned to the science of reading, and designed to complement existing literacy programs to teach reading foundations. The curriculum is $17,120.25 and includes daily lessons and materials and a classroom kit for each teacher, digital resources and training to support classroom instruction, and decodable text for students. LCAP Goal 1, Action 4, 5, and 11, funding source LCFF, budget financial impact $17,120.25, and will be reflected in the 26-27 budget. It's recommended the board of directors approve action item A. Any discussion?
I think the description was pretty comprehensive, but if the board recalls, last year we presented that this is a mandate of the state. It really is called all students reading and literacy all the way up to third grade. And one of the needs that we saw after giving that mandatory reading screener is, okay, now if students are at risk, how are we going to address that? And so this is and also how are we teaching reading, period, right? How are our teachers doing this? So Haggerty, the Science of Reading, is aligned to all the new research, and it won't add really anything more. It will take, our teachers have a lot of carpet time with those early grades, where the kids are on the carpet and they're teaching those phonics and the phonemic awareness skills. This will just give them material so they're more prepared and will align how they teach reading.
Where's 17,120, this number come from? How do we write,
It
come
came,
up with this number?
it came from the quote, so which is attached to the agenda. So I submitted the number of teachers that we have and the materials that we would need to implement K through 2 next year. And so they sent me that quote. It includes taxes and everything else. I will say the first year of implementation is a little bit higher because of these classroom kits. And I have seen them before, they're very extensive. But every year after that, the cost would go down significantly because it would just be replacement materials and access to the online resources. So the first year of implementation is a little higher, and then after that, it'll get much lower. But the quote is attached to the agenda.
Did we look at other programs?
We did, so Miss Brown, and she also brought Miss Crescenti with her later on in the process, but Miss Brown and Miss Young have been attending meetings at the county regarding this whole reading risk screener, we use multitudes, looking how to look at results, and then, finally, what do you do for results? Hegarty is, I would say, the highest standard and what most districts across Southern California are using in order to address and better teach reading to students.
I'm not really clear about how the money is going to be, spent. Is it buying some books and some equipment, or?
So if you were to look in the board folder in the Hegarty quote, it'll tell you how many kits per grade level, how many decodable books.
Okay.
It'll talk about the online platform. It's very much delineated in that quote.
So this curriculum is for all students, TK to second grade. So it's kind of like a supplementary?
Yes, so the Hegarty will become our way of teaching reading to all kids, right? Our teachers currently do not have any materials for teaching reading. We have an ELA instruction book, but not teaching reading like the science of reading. We don't have a curriculum for that, so it will serve many purposes. It will give our teachers materials and align lessons in order to better teach reading. Also, there are materials and in this online platform where they can address if students have reading risk difficulties.
Okay, so it's different than the language art?
Right, we still have the language arts and it is aligned to that, yes. You would use this in tandem with your language arts. And, it's here. It's used to complement existing literacy programs to teach. This is more foundational reading.
So the quote here, it says $2,737.
If we scroll down, there should be,
It says net $2,737.
let me look at what you're looking at, because the one I have in front of me, I did ask her for a quote of what additional years would look like, but the quote that I have printed out right here is 17/1/2025. Is this?
So this is
different?
like a one-time? It's a one-time or?
So it's a first year of implementation where you're getting all the core materials, and then every supplemental year that you would approve it, it would be less. I'm happy to, let me,
Yeah, so 2737.
Oh, this is different. Oh, this is a different quote than the one that's in.
I think if that's the case, because they did give me several quotes, I'm happy to pull it, although I do have the actual quote right there.
This is a different quote.
I can put it on the next time,
Yeah, we have on the next one.
if you would like me to do that,
Publicly.
then I apologize for that.
Yeah, it's the wrong one. Indeed.
Okay, so
I can't.
we'll table this until the next meeting.
I'll
Is
bring
that
it back
okay?
to the next meeting.
So, I bring a motion to table this to the next meeting. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you, David. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes, so we'll
Okay, Okay.
table this until the next meeting. Thank
all
you.
right, and then, okay.
Okay, so, approve the board policy 5131.8, mobile communication devices. By July 1st, 2026, California school districts, including charter schools, must adopt policies limiting or prohibiting student use of mobile devices while on campus under Assembly Bill 3216. These policies must be updated every 5 years, aiming to reduce distractions and support the mental health of students while allowing for exceptions for emergencies, authorized medical health needs, and specialized student needs via an individualized education program. This requirement is a result of the Phone Free School Act, which was signed in September 2024. LCAP Goal Action, Goal 2, Action 5 and 6, funding source not available, budget, financial impact not available. It's recommended the board of directors approve action item B.
So this policy is a mandatory policy. We now utilize Gamut not only for our board agendas and communication of the board agendas, but we also, the board approved a purchase of their board policy component of Gamut, which gives us legally vetted model policies. And so the language here is directly from the Gamut program, which is the California School Board Association, and they allow for some decision-making of the school. So I brought those decisions, which is, do we limit or prohibit? How strong are we to our cabinet? And we aligned it to what we're currently using. But I would say the language in here is the legal language and the required mobile devices policy.
So mobile device, definition of mobile device, basically includes phones and like a two-way.
The watches,
Yeah, watches.
they leave it very general. In fact, the name of this board policy is one that is required, that it is I was calling it earlier on the cell phone policy until I saw legally it needed to be labeled mobile communication devices in that language.
No.
Okay, other questions? All right, is there a motion? I'm happy to make a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Molly. We'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. All right, moving on to C, approve master contract with Effectual Education Services for special education services. Effectual Education Consulting is a non-public agency that provides IIA with services for our special education student population. The master contract dictates all individual service agreements for services through the 26-27 school year. LCAP Goal Action, Goal 1, Action 9, funding source state special education LCFF funds, budget financial impact, TBD based on individual student needs. It's recommended the board of directors approve action item C.
This is a standard master agreement that this board has approved in 23-24, 24-25, and hopefully again in 25-26. I do want to point out on the second page, if you were to look at the attachment, I have it in front of me, it is very thick, but that is because their contract covers 3 different choices, and you'll see an X in the first choice that are we are using them only for individualized services. We are not contracting them as a non-public school. We're not contracting them to do any other program. So knowing, doing my due diligence, I did read through this and noticed that some things I thought that the board might look at, like insurance rates and things like this, were only if we were to utilize them for NPS services, which we are not. So what happens with the individual service contracts is every time we have a student, let's say we're going to refer to counseling, they do all of our special education services, we fill out an individualized student agreement, so a little mini contract of here's counseling, here's how many hours with this student's name. And so we have several mini contracts. This would just be the master contract, allowing us to continue to utilize their services as we see fit through the next school year. But this is the exact same contract that the board, and I checked, had approved in 23, started to approve in 23-24.
So how do we measure their performance?
How well they do, or is that what you mean? I just want to
How
clarify.
well they serve our community?
We actually had a conversation about that today. So we look at, they work very closely with student services. So when we ask for an assessment, we're looking at timeliness, we're looking at thoroughness of their assessment. They offer counseling services for us right now, and we do utilize them for school psychology, school evals or assessments. And at this time, we have been very happy with their performance, but it's on an individualized agreement. And I think I shared with the board 2 board meetings ago, I've been looking very carefully at the counseling component. As our individualized service agreements for counseling is growing, I am making sure that their performance is meeting our needs, and at some point that we are not paying them more than what it would be for us to bring our own in-house counselor. So we are continuing to monitor this through the IEP process and through also service agreements. But this contract does not bind us to any, if we did not want to utilize them anymore, we're not bound to utilizing them for a certain minimum or anything like that.
To be clear, this is being presented to us as a recommendation. You are asking us to continue the services because
Yes.
we're pleased with the services they provided.
Yes.
Versus us dictating to use them and forcing the school to use them when the school may not want to. So I just
Agreed,
wanted
yes.
to be clear
I'm sorry, yes.
that you're recommending to us this
Yes,
organization
exactly.
that we've continued to work with over the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a flat fee, the engagement or something? So this is kind of like, the overarching agreement, right?
This is an overarching agreement that we, as needs come up and we are happy with their services, we can engage them in mini contracts, the individualized service agreements as needed for students, and it continues throughout the year. But again, if at any point we are unhappy with their services, we're not bound to utilize them for a specific amount or anything like that.
How much we're paying, for entering?
We're not paying
what's
any-
our,
Yeah, we're not paying anything for necessarily entering into this master contract. It allows us, but in those individualized service agreements, we do look at payments, and then I'm approving the bills each month and really looking at how much are we paying for counseling a month, which I will tell you has increased. And then like this last month, we paid $13,000 around that amount because we had an increase in assessments that we gave. We had quite a few families request assessments. So we had, but that included counseling services, psych assessments, as well as counseling assessments. They do our nursing assessments if students have medical issues. So the amount that we pay per month varies greatly based on our need.
so if the parents make a request, we are obligated to kind of send an engagement?
Not necessarily there. If a parent makes a request and signs an assessment plan for special education, we are obligated to find a way to either complete that assessment or deny, which brings some legal risk with it unless we have a very strong case to deny an assessment. We last year brought in-house our speech language pathologist, for example, so we do not need to contract that out anymore because she will conduct all the internal assessments. And so it just depends on the parent's request. Sometimes the request is for OT, sometimes it is for speech, sometimes not. That again is in-house. Sometimes they'll need counseling services. So it's a battery of assessments, and every student is different, and every IEP is different, so it depends on what we need. But we are obligated to do that, to provide services. We just find different ways to do that, those services.
So every time we engage with them, we would pay additional, right?
We pay for the services that we request, and they vary greatly.
Okay, is there a motion?
I motion.
Thank you, Molly. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, David. We'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Okay, moving on to D. Approve extension of board term for Brett Freeman for 1 additional year. The IIA bylaw states that each director shall hold office unless otherwise removed from office in accordance with the bylaws for 4 years and until a successor director has been designated and qualified. On an annual basis, the board may extend the term of an existing director for an additional year by majority vote. LCAP goal, action not applicable, funding source not applicable, budget financial impact not applicable. It's recommended the board of directors approve action item D. I will be recusing myself from the discussion and the vote. I just want to say thank you. It's been an honor to serve, and however you decide to go, I support you fully.
I would love to see you. You have done a
Discuss
tremendous
amongst
job.
yourselves, do what you like.
We got a moment of silence. Yeah, but frankly, seriously, Brad has done a tremendous job. You know, I really appreciate your leadership and you know, being a pleasure and very pleasant experience of working with you. Okay, I'm sure you know Stephanie give a similar perspective, but I'm not going to speak on her behalf. So as a board member and colleague, I love to see you stay put and take the leadership role for another year.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, David.
I'll second.
Molly, thank you, Molly.
Thank you. I've learned so much from you. You're
Yeah.
such just a faithful a leader. Yeah, so thank you.
I mean, it takes a lot of effort, personal effort and contributions. That's, you know, it's more than a professional or bring your professional expertise, all that. It's a huge commitment. I know that. Appreciate that. All right, I'll make a motion. You second.
And
Shall we take a
all in
vote?
favor? Yeah, take a
Yeah, shall
vote.
we take a vote? All in favor, say
Aye.
aye.
Aye. All opposed?
All opposed? That passes.
Very good, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all for your
Thank you.
words and support. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's an honor to serve with you. Okay, moving on to approve the extension of board term for David Sun for 1 additional year. IIA bylaws, once again, states that each director shall hold office unless otherwise removed from office in accordance with the bylaws for 4 years and until a successor director has been designated and qualified on an annual basis. The board may extend the term of an existing director for an additional year by majority vote. LCAP goal action not applicable, funding source not applicable, budget financial impact not applicable. It's recommended the board of directors approve action item E. I too am honored to serve with you, David. I think you're fantastic, and we really appreciate.
Oh, smoking sometimes.
We appreciate all of your contributions. That we know that the school is not next to your home. You have to make some time to be here, and it takes a lot of time. And going through everything in your care continues to outpour. On behalf of the guy, we really appreciate it. So thank you. So I hope you're willing to serve another year. For sure, you have my confidence in that. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I think we should make a motion before he changes his mind.
I'd like to make a motion.
Introduce myself.
I'd like to make a motion to renew David, to extend him for another year.
I second that.
Thank you very much, Felipe. Okay, we'll take a vote. David will recuse himself. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
So
you
it's
for
gonna be-
serving.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
You're stuck with us.
Okay,
See you next
You're
week.
stuck with sitting next to me now.
moving on to approve election of IIA Board Officer President. Each year, the IIA Board of Directors holds an annual meeting to elect officers for the school year. These officer positions include Board President, Secretary, and Treasurer. Officer positions will rotate every 2 years unless 51% of the board votes to keep an officer in his or her position for an additional year. LCAP goal action not applicable, funding source not applicable, budget financial impact not applicable. It's recommended the Board of Directors approve action item F.
Well, first we'll need a recommendation from the board, and that's on the top.
I
So
was-
we'll need a
Yeah,
nominate.
we
So-
Yeah,
already
we have to
a-
nominate.
We already
Oh.
have a president, right? I mean,
Yeah, but we have to
It's for renewal.
renominate.
Yeah,
So you guys may decide to go with another president. That's on the table here. So there's a nomination, someone wants to raise a nomination.
I make a nomination that we continue with Brett.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, because we already did that, right?
No, it just
Okay.
extended his
Yeah,
term.
you send me, yeah, that's,
So
yeah.
now I have to nominate the position, and I'll make a nomination.
Is it a motion, or we're gonna do that?
Yeah, so now
one
that
by
we
one?
have a nomination on the table, then would
Yeah.
anyone make a motion? We second and we vote.
I motion.
I will make, okay, are we gonna do it, I'll second,
You say.
okay,
Tell me what to do. You say.
okay.
And
Yeah,
now we
Well, for the
take a
secretary.
vote.
yeah, are we gonna vote one by one?
You can do it
Yeah.
do it
right now.
together.
Yeah, we can do it together.
Yeah.
So, on secretary,
Oh, no, we have to
Oh.
vote on the
No,
president.
oh, the president
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You can, you
So
know,
there was a
yeah.
motion.
So there's a motion of a second,
Yeah, I'll
and
second.
so all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. All opposed?
Pass.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Okay, so now we
So,
go.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you
you're
all
gonna be,
for your
yeah,
confidence.
continue
All right,
to be
thank
the
you for your
president.
confidence.
Okay.
Thank you for your confidence. Thank you.
Yeah.
Felipe, thank you for your
All right.
It's better you than me. It's the same.
All right, moving on to approve election, first, are we clear on the motion? Who made the
We are, I
motion?
have it all,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Approve the election of IA Board Officer Secretary.
So first we'll make the recommendation.
I'll make a nomination for, yeah, Felipe. All right.
I'm
Yeah.
humbled by your nomination.
I mean, truly.
I will second.
I will-
So we made a nomination for Felipe.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Did you also make the motion?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, because I think that he can, do a great job, he's always good.
Okay, so we'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, Felipe is our secretary. Congratulations.
Good to them that I'm always here. That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, approve the election of IA Board Officer Treasurer. It's recommended the Board of Directors approve action item H. We need a recommendation for treasurer.
I recommend David. Son.
I'm gonna do the money, do
So you ever talking about?
All right, so we have a recommendation of David.
I make a motion, or I motion so.
Okay, I'm happy to second. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Okay, congratulations, David.
We got a lot of things done.
Okay, all right, executive director's report.
Okay, well, congratulations to all of our board for your extensions, both to David and Brett, and I know I've really appreciated working with all of our board members, so that is great news. I do want to share that last week was Staff Appreciation Week, and I am so thankful, well, first of all, I am so thankful for our staff. And as the year, this was the first year when I started with Staff Appreciation Week, or maybe it was the first week or second week. And now that I have come to know all of our staff, both our teaching staff, our certificated, I'm just so grateful. So I do want to express my appreciation for them, and I tried to do that also last week, but I really want to thank our families. The generosity of our IIA families and how they express their gratitude for our staff is so touching. Not only that, amazing cooks who brought in food every single day. We had breakfast and lunch served every day. On a personal note, I had to tell my husband, please don't cook dinner at all this week, because don't want to hurt your feelings. I will not be able to eat it. There was so much love, generosity. Some of our newer staff that weren't here last year were genuinely just amazed and came and expressed those feelings to me. They just said, these families are so generous and loving, and it's such a great atmosphere. So
You know what I noticed is that it starts in the beginning, and then the ball gets rolling, and they're only supposed to bring in breakfast and lunch, maybe, and next thing you know, they're just bringing in stuff all day long.
yeah, I did tell Felipe that. I said it started with, okay, you're going to have breakfast and lunch on Monday, and then breakfast each day. And then by the end of the first day, it was like, okay, now we have so many volunteers, we have breakfast and lunch every day, by sometimes key families or sometimes families who group together. But then other families who had not maybe signed up to do that day would just start bringing food at the end of the day. It would continue to roll in all day long. So again, I am so appreciative and so thankful for our families and community. Again, I do want to talk about our spring fling. It's getting closer. We're so excited. This is PTO's main fundraiser of the year, but it's also IIA's big celebration. And I would just remember being so in awe of how we put on an event, that's for sure. And I think this will be one for the records. And so I encourage our families to please participate. We can't wait to celebrate with you kind of off campus and in that atmosphere with music and food. And so please do join us. And it's also our 5-year celebration. So we're making history here. And then I'll just end saying, you saw from the school updates, all of these end of year events are coming. Our staff is busy planning, our leaders are busy planning, and I'm just so excited as we go through and celebrate all of our students with our different promotions. We are planning to do a clap out like we started last year, which was so amazing for our 8th graders, and we're gonna make it even better for this year. So we've got great traditions that we've established that we're continuing to build on. So we're rolling right into the end of the year. Thank you, that's my update.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the director's reports. Who would like to start?
I'll start, just to continue that theme. If you haven't bought your tickets yet for this, the event, please, don't wait, because they're using the count for how many people or how much services they're providing. So buy your tickets early. Yeah, it's going to be a big show. A lot of food. They have some new vendors that they're going to have there. The venue is at Mariners Church, so that'll be new for us. We have a huge facility there that we're going to use, and yeah, I'll be emceeing, so you can't miss that. That's always a fun. So please buy your tickets as soon as you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, and along the same line, I enlist George to be on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left that out. If you're interested in volunteering, they do need a few extra volunteers to help out.
Yeah.
So.
No, you gotta start.
That's great, George will do that.
Yeah. He's at your disposal.
Oh, perfect.
He'll be excited to, return.
Yeah. See how
Yeah.
that's great.
All right.
So I was listening to all these, there's so many events, so many good news, and I can also see the entire school is so busy. We have 1 more month of school left, or less than a month. And I just think about the dedication, not just the teachers, administrators, the families, and there are also a lot of effort they put in behind doors that we don't even know, like preparing food. They showed up, and just wonderful things to see how we came from, from the first year all the way till now. I'm just so thankful for everyone who participate in this huge family, and I can't wait to next Friday. Big celebration, but very grateful, appreciate their effort.
Fred, I just want to add something. I didn't realize, 7 on the board for 4 years already.
Me?
Me too. You've been here longer.
Yeah, we've been serving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
4 years.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
4 years?
So, along those lines, I want to thank each and every one of you because, it's really wouldn't be possible without your contributions. And, you all have contributed in so many ways, so thank you. I mean, this 5-year celebration was pretty exciting to be a part of. But thank you for all that you do serving, especially the time, hours and hours and hours. And we have, it's nice to see we have interest in people wanting to participate, and that process will continue with interviews next Tuesday. But most recently, we've been spending a lot of time here behind the table, and thank you. There's sacrifices to be made. Dr. Henry, I want to thank you, for all that you have endured, and you've really, in the year, and we really have a great team here.
Yeah.
It's really a wonderful place to be. So thank you to you and all of the staff for that. Very excited about the spring play, so really looking forward to it. Okay, and thank you also for your support in renewing me for another year and having to hear and listen to me talk again, so I appreciate your patience. Okay, moving on to adjournments. Recommended the board adjourn the regular meeting of Irvine International Academy Board of Directors on May 12, 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
David, is there a second?
Also.
Thank you, Molly. Vote, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, it passes. Meeting adjourned at 8:19 p.m.
Yep.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.